Welcome to this special video report where we delve deep into the shocking and disturbing case of Elias Gudino. This is a story of murder and attempted murder that has sent shockwaves to the community, leaving people stunned and wondering how such a senseless tragedy could happen. Gudino is accused of taking the lives of 3 innocent men and attempting to kill another, and as the investigation unfolds, new details emerge that reveal the horror of what happened. We will take you through the case step by step, examining the evidence and the court proceedings and bringing you up to date on the latest developments. So sit back, but be prepared as we explore the dark and twisted world of Elias Gudino and try to understand the motive behind these brutal acts of violence. When the murders took place, the heinous crimes committed by Elias Gudino have left the Summit County community reeling. Gudino, 58, is accused of kidnapping 4 victims from another county the day before the murders. A Copley police detective who testified in court revealed that Gudino admitted to being present during the murder of Domingo Castillo Reyes, 35, of Youngstown. The victim's body was discovered in Copley in the 2100 block of Wright Road on March 10, 2023, according to the Summit County Medical Examiner. But this was not the only victim. The detective stated that Gudino was also present during the shooting of another man who survived the attack. However, the victim's name and current location are being withheld for safety reasons. Furthermore, Akron police have identified Gudino as a suspect in the murders of Inma Reyes, 25, and Victor Varela Rodriguez, 31, both of Youngstown. Their lifeless bodies were discovered on March 10, 2023 in Akron in the area of Cordova Avenue near Redbush Road, according to the Summit County Medical Examiner. Officers in Copley got a call about 20 minutes later reporting the body of a man in a ditch alongside a road about 2 miles from where the other 2 bodies were found. Police stated that it was a passerby who found the lifeless bodies and reported it to the police. The shocking details of the murders are still emerging, and investigators are still piecing together what happened on that fateful day. However, the evidence that was recovered from Gudino's vehicle and home links him to the crimes. The community is left to grapple with the unimaginable horrors of these senseless murders. The victims' families are still struggling to come to terms with their loss, and the community is on edge, wondering if justice will ever be served. The case has sparked fear and outrage among residents of Summit County, and many are calling for swift and severe punishment for Gudino if he is found guilty. As the investigation continues, more details will undoubtedly come to light, but the scars left by this tragedy will likely never fully heal. The community will be forever haunted by the memory of the lives that were taken too soon and left behind shattered families and a community in mourning. How he murdered 3 victims. Akron police confirmed that all 3 deceased victims, Inma Reyes, Victor Varela Rodriguez, and Domingo Castillo Reyes, were found gagged, bound, and shot in the head. The discovery of their bodies has sent shockwaves through the Summit County community, leaving residents in fear and grief. The details of how Gudino committed these murders have also come to light. According to a Copley police detective who testified in court, Gudino participated in the kidnapping of the 4 victims from another county the day before the murders. The victims were held captive, bound, and gagged before Gudino allegedly shot them in cold blood. In a joint statement issued by the Akron and Copley police departments, investigators confirmed that they believe the murders committed by Elias Gudino were an isolated incident and that the public at large was not in any danger. While the investigation is still ongoing, authorities have reassured the community that they should not be concerned for their safety at this time. However, the chilling details of the murders have left the community on edge, with many wondering how such a horrific crime could take place in their quiet town. According to the police statement, the victims were likely kidnapped from outside the area and brought to Summit County. The motive for the kidnapping and murders is still unknown, and investigators are working tirelessly to uncover more information. What his neighbor has to say. When the police was carrying out the search operation in Elias' house, one reporter was able to get an interview on the neighbor. Jim Miller, the neighbor, reported to a news reporter that he was taken aback when he saw police officers executing a search warrant at Gudino's house from Friday night to Saturday morning. Miller was very surprised and couldn't believe that Gudino could be involved in such heinous crimes.
Very surprised. Very, very surprised. It doesn't seem like it would be him.
According to Miller, Gudino was always an easygoing person, and he had never seen any signs of temper or aggressive behavior from him.
Never saw any temper or anything like that. I was just easygoing guy.
Miller further added that Gudino was always a pleasant neighbor, often lending a helping hand to the community. He was the kind of person who would haul dirt or shovel snow in the winter, always eager to help those around him. Gudino's calm and courteous demeanor made him well liked among his neighbors. Miller had talked to him several times and found him to be a very friendly and approachable person.
Just, talked to him a number of times and always was very polite, very nice, very quiet.
The news of Gudino's involvement in the murders has left Miller in a great shock. Past record. Can you believe that a person who is claimed to be a nice guy by the neighbor can have a very dark past? Yes, Elias Gudino, the suspect accused of the murders of 3 men and the attempted murder of a 4th in Summit County, has a long criminal history dating back to the 1990s. Court documents show that his criminal operation extended from southern Mexico to Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Colorado, and Oklahoma. Gudino was arrested with 8 kilos of cocaine and was later convicted and sentenced to prison in 2009. He was released in 2017, but his criminal activities did not end there. Gudino's illegal activities drew the attention of law enforcement, and 3 federal informants played a crucial role in sending him to the federal penitentiary. These informants cooperated with the DEA's findings, revealing that Gudino was a distributor of several kilograms of cocaine. One informant even linked Gudino to the notorious drug dealer Tommy Raza from Akron, who is serving a 20-year sentence. Despite his criminal past, Gudino seemed like an ordinary person to his neighbors. On his Facebook page, he talked about being a grandfather and his landscaping business. According to neighbors, he was just a nice guy, a working-class man living a simple life. However, Gudino had a hidden past, one that he kept secret from those around him. Gudino's criminal history adds a new layer of complexity to the recent murders and attempted murder in Summit County. It raises questions about his motives and what led him to commit such a heinous crime. As the investigation continues, more details about Gudino's past and his involvement in the recent murders are likely to emerge. Now, let's look at how the 4th victim was discovered and how this all led to the arrest of Elias. While the police were busy investigating the murder of 2 dead bodies found on the side of the road, little did they know that a 4th victim was out there. Lucky to have survived the gunshot wound inflicted by the perpetrator, Elias Gudino. The police were unaware of the 4th victim's connection to the case at the time. Over an hour earlier, on Collier Road, they had come across a man who was drenched, cold, tired, and did not speak English. The police transported him to Haven of Rest in Akron, where he could receive assistance. However, after the bodies were discovered, the Copley police had a hunch that the man who had been dropped off at the homeless shelter earlier was somehow connected to the tragedies. So the police returned, this time with a translator, and picked up the man from the Haven of Rest. According to Detective Mike Ivano, the man said he and 3 other men were abducted from Youngstown and taken to Copley. He also revealed that he too was shot in the head, but miraculously the bullet lifted him up and he played dead. The survivor was uninjured and was able to flee the area. In an incredible coincidence, the police and the survivor stopped at a Marathon gas station for gas and drinks around 4 p.m. that day, and Elias Gudino happened to be there at the same time. The survivor immediately identified Gudino as the gunman, saying, "That's the guy who actually shot me." Ivano says it was Gudino who stood behind him in line while he was at the gas station. "The moment I walked into the parking lot, the detectives in the car with the surviving victim were yelling, 'He's saying that's the guy,'" Ivano says.
He said that's the guy that shot me. The minute I walked to the parking lot, the detectives in the car with the surviving victim were yelling, "He's saying that's the guy, that's the guy."
Gudino was questioned and eventually placed himself at the abduction site in Youngstown and the crime scene in Copley, which led to the charges against him. It was a shocking revelation that this man, who appeared to be a nice and quiet neighbor, had such a violent and criminal past. But thanks to the brave survivor and the diligent police work, Gudino was finally brought to justice. Charges on Gudino. Elias Gudino is facing the full weight of the law as he is charged with 1 count of aggravated murder and 1 count of attempted murder for the Copley victims. However, law enforcement officials are not stopping there. They are tirelessly working to gather evidence and information to add more charges against Gudino for his heinous crimes. Justice will be served, and the families of the victims will have some form of closure. The authorities' dedication to ensuring the safety of the public and their unwavering pursuit of justice is a testament to the bravery and commitment of those who serve and protect our communities. The story of Elias Gudino and his gruesome crimes will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on the communities of Copley and Akron. It's a reminder that evil can hide in plain sight, even in the form of a seemingly normal and friendly neighbor. But it's also a testament to the tireless efforts of law enforcement who work tirelessly to bring justice to the victims and their families. As we reflect on this tragic event, may we honor the memory of the 3 innocent lives lost and be grateful for the bravery of the survivor who escaped death by a stroke of luck. Let us never forget the importance of vigilance and the courage of those who protect and serve our communities.